Welcome to Connaught Place, the heart of Delhi, which is also the host of the Sark Band Festival. One band from each Sark country, representing their country, spreading peace, harmony through music. Now, what does that got to do with cars? Well, how do you think they got from the airport to the venue? Smart one. I'm going to go and check one of the bands out. You watch the rest of the show. Welcome to All About My Car, honey. On the show this week, we have Gautam Sen in Paris, seeing some fine Beamers. We have an engineer with a passion for cars. We have a family that is brought closer together by an engine and two wheels. Don't be surprised, don't be alarmed. This is the look and feel of the cosmopolitan India. And now, since we're talking about things which are cosmopolitan and international, why don't we take an international trip and meet my friend Gautam Sen, who is again in, well, Paris, and driving some killer Beamers. The only problem is, I think, they're a couple of sizes small for him. But believe me, they are a couple of sizes small for him. Check it out and call me and tell me if you think I'm right. Adios.
So it's time to go inside and check out that little factory that makes the little BMW. Come, let's have a look at it. Here we are, the place where that wonderful little machine's made.
Yes, what you see are little cars for little people. Cars that someone like Gautam Sen has no right to be sitting in, though he's doing just that. In fact, here are cars that are meant essentially for 8 to 12-year-olds. Cars that are 3/5 scale replicas of full-sized cars that feature an engine and that can be driven just like real cars. Pedal cars and electric cars for children are well known in India. But proper little cars with engines are something that you don't see. But in the developed market, there are a handful of manufacturers making these scale replicas that rich parents very happily buy for their richer kids. Cars that cost more than a Maruti Swift.
Driving this car is extremely easy. In fact, all you have is two pedals, one for the accelerator and one for the brake. In fact, you have to use the left foot for the brake and the right for the accelerator. It's in fact, when you don't move, when you have your foot off the accelerator, the car doesn't move. Unlike an automatic, there's no automatic creep. It's obviously a safety device. And only when you push in the throttle quite a bit, that the car starts moving. The car is speed restricted to just 12 kilometers per hour, though it's capable of doing up to 50 kph. But for safety reasons, BMW insisted that it should be restricted to only 12 kilometers per hour. There is a tachometer and there is a speedometer. Both work. The tachometer, in fact, when it's idling, it's at 1750 RPM. And the speedo, it shows up to 60. But what obviously it could be doing at best is 12 kilometers per hour. And a safety switch to switch off the engine in case of emergency or whatever. Steering, absolutely direct. Slightest movement and the wheel immediately turns. And additionally, there's also a reverse. It's a simple lever that's below the seat, in fact. Pull it to the right and it goes into reverse. Push it back into the left and it's, for forward drive.
Worth anything between 12,000 to 15,000 euros, these cars, other than attracting kids, are also used to attract customer traffic to showrooms. And so BMW, the car maker, has underwritten this perfect replica of the race-winning BMW 328 from the 1930s. Javier de la Chapelle, known for making some superb Bugatti replicas, has also been making a range of very cute-looking car for juniors.
So before I get into one of these and drive away into the sunset, which may not be possible given the fact that I'm a little out of size for this car, Xavier, tell us a little about each of these cars. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the Bugatti?
So the Bugatti was done in 1932.
The original?
The original Bugatti,
not
yes,
this
of
one.
course. And the original Type 55 was built on the Type 51 chassis. It was a Grand Prix car.
Right.
So it's, for the enthusiast, the Bugatti enthusiast, it's like if it was at that time
a street
F40.
version of a Grand Prix car.
Absolutely, like the
F40.
Of F50, yes.
Yeah.
So it's comparable, you know. Yeah. And Bugatti did very few of this shape because it's the roadster Jean Bugatti without doors, with these curves, with very nice curves near the seats.
Right.
And they did something like 50 cars.
Right.
No more than the 57S. Okay. And these cars are very, very rare, very collectible. And now the cost of the original one is like the 57S is €1,000,000. You know.
Right.
So not very affordable.
Right. This one is slightly more affordable.
Yes.
Great. And tell us a little about the 328, the BMW. That also has a great tradition and a great history, right?
Absolutely. It was a race car also at BMW. It was a roadster. At that time, you can go on the road with it. But a lot of owners were driving it. You know, it's what we call now, it's gentleman driver.
Gentleman drivers who were driving it. Right. Exactly.
So they went to the circuit by the road, and they returned after by the road. So it was the good old times.
Good old times when you could go racing. You could drive the car you were going to race all the way to the onto the track.
Yes.
Race it and be able to go back home in the same car. Yeah.
De La Chapelle's BMW Juniors, along with his Bugatti and Ferrari Juniors, are becoming collector's items. So if you want to grab one, write into NDTV. And we'll see how we can do that. Now that should be another story.
This is some of the craziest thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm enjoying it every bit.